Oh shit, I'm the one who's leading today. Hey everyone, welcome to Roll D5. I am Mika, director producer here. Today, during our guest guides month, we are playing Roll for Shoes, and our special guest guide is Dain Saint. Hello, Dain.
Hello, hello.
Real quick, we'll just go through. Uh, I'll have y'all introduce yourselves, and I'll turn the time over to you, Dane, to briefly explain the system, and then we can get going. I'm Mika. I do things, like I said, I'm a producer director here at Roll D5, and I love indie games. Let's play a game together sometime. Slay. JoJo.
Hey friends, I'm JoJo. I am a cultural anthropologist, TTRPG player. I do stuff. And tonight I'm playing a gruff elf man. We did establish this as fantasy, horror fantasy. Well, did we?
We established
Yeah,
something, I'm
Wait,
sure.
okay, all right.
Hunger Games, fantasy, eldritch.
There
Yes.
is now. I am now gruff elf man. So contend with that, dungeon master.
Gruff
Now we can have the
elf
same
man.
voice.
Great.
Yeah, I'm playing Lucky Lucas Lemon, who is a bunny man. Andrew.
Hey, I'm Andrew, he, him. I'm so excited for it tonight, just to play with you guys. I'm like technically on the Roll D5 team, but I'm also technically just obsessed with like hanging out with wonderful people. So that's why I'm here. And I'm gonna be playing regular old Spranston, just regular old Spranston. And I know as much about him as you do right now, so I'm so excited to play.
And Dane. It's all
Yeah,
yours.
all mine. My name is Dain Saint. I'm an interactive storyteller, and I'm here as a game guide today. I do a bunch of things from games through journalism, through music, and I've been working on this massive theatrical TTRPG in Philadelphia called Space Opera that hopefully I'll get a chance to tell you about a bit later. I will be as we say, everyone and everything else. So hopefully we can figure out exactly what the hell this story is and what we're going to do. But I'm so happy to play with y'all today. Is there anything
Yeah,
else that
let's
needs to be said before we get into it?
Nope.
All right. So the system that we're using today is called Roll for Shoes. This is a rules light system that I really love. It's a great way for people who are either just getting into this space to learn how to play or to learn how to DM. I like it because the rules are so light that it really allows you to figure out what the story is and who you're playing as we move through it, which is exactly what we're doing today. So as everyone has said, we know as much about these characters as you do. We're going to get in here and play a bit of sort of an eldritch game show, Hunger Games vibe, and see where that takes us. The rules are very simple. Everybody gets a handful of D6. You can do anything with 1d6. That is your first skill. Subsequent skills might have more die that you can roll with it, and you get those by rolling all sixes. So if you try to open a door and you get a 6 on that roll, then you get a 2 in opening doors. And any other thing that you can sufficiently explain to me is using your skill of opening doors, you'll be able to roll 2 die about instead of 1. When you fail rolls, you'll get a special resource that we are calling Glory for this particular iteration of Roll for Shoes. And then you can spend Glory to either upgrade your skills or for a couple of mechanics that we'll get into in a second. In this way, our players get to sort of figure out who they are and what they can do by rolling, and we figure out the story as it goes. Any questions from our players before we explain the glory mechanics and get into it? That's Andrew. What's up?
Hi, can I have one glory?
No.
Ah, shoot. Okay, I failed. And I have one glory now. No, okay, I'm ready.
It's too early for recursion. Hold on to that. But I like the energy. I like the hustle. It's good. So our glory mechanics are special mechanics that we're going to be doing. Because this is a sort of Hunger Games situation, and you are playing to an audience, and you will sort of always be on camera, you can burn glory for additional shifts in the space around you. So in order to do this, you're going to show off for the camera, do something special or spectacular, and then you can burn 2 glory for a sponsored intervention where one of our sponsors will pop in and maybe give you an additional object or item or something to that effect. You can burn 5 glory for a chaotic intervention where something will happen in the space, in the environment, that will shift the battlefield and shift what you and your enemies need to contend with. Or you can burn 8 glory for an intervention from beyond the veil. Now, what that looks like and feels like, we'll figure out as we go, but that's 2 for a sponsored intervention, 5 for a chaotic intervention, 8 for an intervention from beyond the veil. Does that make sense?
Ready.
Great. Any last questions before we get into it?
Not a one.
I do. Just to confirm, glory is what we get when we fail, right?
That is what you get when you fail. There is no way to get glory without failing. We'll take that as a lesson.
All right.
So, let's have some fun. Come, Miko, tell a story. We're going to start running. Footsteps moving through a jungle. We feel the heat and humidity of a tropical island moving through brush and underbrush, the roar of an unreal creature out in the distance, moving towards parts unknown. We are following someone, the bit of sweat on the brow of her dark skin, twists sort of moving through the air, cuts and bruises and things of that nature. The obvious detritus of someone who has fought to get as far as they are. They have in one hand a glass sphere, something that they hold close to them as they tumble over another barricade, move into move into a river, move through this space, just trying to get somewhere as we follow behind them. I would like, in this moment, we're going to go through for each of you. I need you each to describe an eldritch horror that looks for all the world like it will kill this woman dead. Mika, let's start with you.
Oh, definitely something with tentacles.
Something with tentacles. Are we thinking swimming, flying, grasping?
I think grasping, and it's coming out of somewhere unexpected, like the knot of a tree.
The woman tries to catch her breath, puts her back up against an old banyan tree, sort of this massive baobab-looking thing with vines hauling off of it, and feels just for a moment something moving across her neck. And in that moment, jumps forward as a tentacle bursts from within the tree, reaching to grab her, kind of coming out of the crack. You see 2 eyes with that silver light of a nighttime predator embedded in an inky black leather face and rows of sharp teeth as the tentacled creature tries to reach out of her. She leaps out of the way just in time. There's no time to rest, and she continues to run. JoJo.
And what other features might this creature have?
Another.
A whole other one.
A whole other one.
Oh, good.
This is pitched movement as she is trying to get to parts unknown.
I'm picturing something without eyes. I'm thinking kind of probably quadrupedal. And I'm thinking talons. Talons to pounce, a kind of stalking and a kind of breakneck speed kind of pouncing, stalking creature.
as she breaks away from this tentacled creature of the tree. No time to rest, running further. Her foot clatters against a rock that cascades down a bit of a hill, and up the hill, bounding, this six-legged eyeless monstrosity, talons digging into the gravel, coming up the hill after her. No time for rest. She looks over, sees a larger rock, concentrates. You see the veins on the side of her head just starting to bulge with the effort of it. A small trickle of blood coming from her right nostril as that boulder shakes, shifts, and lurches forward, rolling down the hill to impact this six-legged creature, keep it out of the way. Deep exhalation of effort. She cannot keep this up for much longer, but she moves deeper into the wood. Andrew.
I think a creature of shadow and darkness that has sort of opposite to JoJo's creation, way too many eyes. Yeah, and I think the eyes don't all stare at her, but imply almost collaboration with each other, even if it's just one large creature.
She runs further, lights opening in the distance, bokeh, the feeling of it would be almost beautiful, like Christmas lights or string lights, if it weren't for the stench that fills the air as this shadow starts to move alongside her like quicksilver, flowing into ditches and crevices, filling like so much smoke. Every place that it touches, a new eye opening, and then finally one piece pops off, separating from the shadow, an eye following, getting very close as he turns around, looks at it, and says, I'm almost there. Turns away, continues to run. This last eye following her as she reaches the caldera. A desolate volcano, the mouth of a volcano, long dormant, opening out into this expanse. She sees in the center of this broad expanse with obsidian crusted over where lava once flowed is a bright and shining light. She looks at the glass orb in her hand as it shimmers almost as in response to that, and sees the long rope bridge that leads from the edge to the center where she must get now. She's finally arrived. She goes to take one step towards the bridge and instinctively hits the deck. The same creature that had been coming after her, the six-legged creature, leaps at the air where she once was, passes, lands on the bridge, scraping down the side, almost falling, and as it does, its talons tear at the ropes holding it. The bridge starts to shudder. She starts yelling, no. The bridge rips out and falls, clattering hundreds of feet below. The path to the orb gone. The one eye, the one shadowed eye, still hovering behind, looks to her. She closes her eyes, turns away from the orb, walks back towards the edge of this thick jungle that she just escaped from. Looks back at the eye. I'll see you in the light. Turns, full sprint, and leaps off of the side of the caldera. Further than human legs could possibly carry. You can see the veins moving through her head and the strain of muscle to lift her into the air. And as she moves, flying towards this orb, it goes black. And that is how things ended during the last tournament at the Thanatorium. We have still not seen something quite like this. Nia Douglas coming back, a 3-time champion, trying to make her way to the center of an uncharted area, and the mystery still abounds. But will these players that have entered into our tournament find what she was looking for, or will they still go for glory? This is the Isla Muerte Thanatorium Tournament, sponsored by United Youth Insurance. I, again, am Cindy Jackson. I am here with our esteemed colleague, Greg. Am I saying that right? You see a screen with a woman with sort of close-shorn blonde hair to one side in a fuchsia power suit, standing behind this her microphone, as to her left, I want to say 8-foot approximation of the shape of a man. It looks a bit like you took a withered hand and just stretched a man shape out of it. Wearing, again, headset and a tie. Sitting next to her, clearly these are Cindy and Greg. Cindy looks to Greg and says, "What an incredible run that was, as we are now getting ready for our new tournament. We're a couple of rounds in. That was some pretty crazy stuff that happened last time. Greg, what are your thoughts?" Greg kind of like lumbers and turns and just goes, "Yeah, you said it, Greg." So
I love Greg's swag.
We are going to go down into the locker room. We've got a bunch of contestants that have come here. Now, as everybody knows, no one on this planet has died in 75 years except for here on Isla Muerte. The Thanatorium, this wonderful place where death is still possible. We have found a way to still have the stakes of life without all of the nasty side effects. So our contestants are here looking for glory, looking for prizes, some of them looking for that lifetime supply of youth insurance from United Youth. Thanks again. Nobody wants to live forever and be busted, right? Isn't that right, Greg? Yeah, couldn't be me. So we're going to get down into the locker room and meet some of our wonderful contestants. Cutting to you out in the field. Jonathan, how's it going? Cindy, yes. So we're here in the locker room meeting some of our wonderful contestants at the Thanatorium. We're going to start with, and he just sort of looks through, and as we are in the locker room of our contestants, our champions, as they were, I would like one aspect of either the locker room or the island or the space, the time that you've spent here, that would remind you that some things are not meant to live forever. And we're going to start with Andrew.
Yeah, mine's simple. It's just a broken picture frame with someone that I once loved still inside that. Like the picture's still there, but it's got the broken glass that's sort of obscuring it, and it's a picture of the two of us, sort of happily on an extremely differently vibed island. But looking at it, I've just got this sense of regret on my face. And I think you can see, even through the camera, my eyes don't have the glimmer of a TV personality. They have the hollowness of probably whoever's watching this too.
Absolutely. So you hear very faintly at first, Spranston. As Jonathan comes up to you, gets a microphone in your face, you see one of these eyes, these shadowed eyes, kind of pops up and is getting you into view for the camera. Spranston, Longstocking, am I correct?
Yeah, regular old Spranston's fine. Anything.
Regular old Spranston. Well, you had a great showing in your qualifying rounds. How are you feeling? Would you please describe Spranston Lockstocking for us?
Yeah. So Spranston is a pretty average looking person, but then the way that he's decorated himself with his attire and some of the different markings on him should be exciting, but he doesn't look like he wears them with excitement. So he's got on an extraordinary backpack that has, a accoutrement that could make a one-man band in an instant. He's got musical instruments hanging around, and he's got like a flute poked into here and a lute hanging off the side here. But he doesn't look like he, put on a show exactly. He's wearing mostly mossy colors that would blend into the sort of island environment, and he's wearing instead of cargo pants like you'd expect, it's like a cargo kilt. So I feel like that explains itself pretty well.
So Jonathan comes in like, yeah. So tell me about yourself. How are you feeling? What's with these instruments? I mean, a lot of people came out here looking bringing weaponry, guns, and ammunition and magical amulets, and you have a impressive array of instruments. Tell me about that.
Yeah. They're magic, or I'm magic. I don't know. Like with my music, I do some magic, and like I don't really need the weapons like to stay alive, in the jungle. What's up with you?
Well, what's up with me is our ratings. So thank you so much for giving everything. I hope that you do well in the next round. Have you sort of started making alliances or maybe some enemies?
I don't know if it's an alliance, but I kind of like the look of the bunny ears feller.
Fair enough. You see, sort of out in the distance, this sort of long-haired, like kind of sun-beaten fellow, like real aged surfer vibes, kind of pops out. It's like, yeah, I've got my eye on the rabbit too. Do you want? Kind of like leans in like way too close to you. It's like, so do you want the ear or the foot? Because I kind of want the foot, right? Like, I mean, foot, like rabbit's foot that big, it's got to be like super lucky, right? Anyways,
I'm going to actively shove him to the ground next to me, and I roll for that. I feel like that was really demeaning, and I'm not gonna speak to it. I'm just gonna look. He's gonna get too close, say all of these things, and I'll look at him with like an apparent disgust and just shove.
Yeah, absolutely. That is going to be opposed. Give me a 1d6 for your do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me roll 1d6 here. That's a 4.
With a 4 on his roll as well, you push him and he comes away, and it's kind of like, hey man, it's good. Save something for out there. Man. We're all good. Turns to the camera. It's like random, like 7. And I'm a Pisces, so have fun. Trots off.
I hate him more.
Spranston, I would love if you would take a 2 in magic music.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Ooh.
All right. Well, thank you so much. There's a lot of heat coming up in here. I love that. That's some good competitive energy. Rabbit, Sir Rabbit. Sorry, what is your name? There's a lot of heat and energy coming your way, and I would just love to get to know you a little bit. Mika, would you introduce your character,
Yeah.
please?
So leaning against the lockers is a man in a suit with the head of a rabbit. And next to him is an axe. The handle's brand new. The axe head itself is very rusty, and carved on the side of it, it says Theseus. And he starts to speak, but it sounds like. And then he pauses and says, hey, sorry about that. The name is Lucky Lucas Lemon. English is my second language. The first one is hushed whispers and gnawing sounds. So my apologies for that.
It's okay. It's okay. I took hushed whispers in my sophomore year. It's a little rusty, so but I appreciate you keeping it in English for our esteemed audience out in the field. What brings you
It's a
to
tough
Eastern
language,
Muerte?
Well, I figure I've been around long enough. One of the few things I haven't tried to be is it's famous. It's well known. So I figure I'd give that a shot.
Hey, rising from obscurity is as good a pursuit in our unending lives as the next. I have spent the last 10 years working on enunciation, so I hope that's coming through loud and clear.
It's a little too loud. I pick up sound very easily with these ears.
Hey, that's a good thing. There's a lot of things that go bump in the night in the thanatorium, so keep those ears up and perch. Lucky, would you like to take a 2 in swing axe?
Yes.
You sort of look over the shoulder of Jonathan, and you see Randall back there still. It's kind of like chatting to some other folks, like someone with like a real like Viking vibe. One dude has like a cybernetic arm. This one person who's like the lower half of his face is like more mustache than man. There's like a lot of colorful characters moving there, and Randall makes eye contact with you and just like, just like clearly harvesting you with his eyes. Jonathan starts making his way, moving through. Where in this sort of locker room area would we find Barian?
I think if anything, Barian would probably be if there was probably outside, if at all possible, or at least in a space of privacy, if there was any, or to isolate, like in a stall, perhaps. Either any of those options would work.
Yeah, so I think we see Jonathan sort of move through and continue to do a lot of these these sort of interviews with our players and combatants in here, and we don't see Barian. Barian is just outside, kind of taking in the thick, humid musk of Isla Muerte. Would you, before describing your character, name something that would sort of give that same feeling that some things aren't meant to live forever?
Is it an item with him or something of the island that gives that feeling?
I will say it's your choice. It can be part of the environment, part of this building that you are in, part of the trip that brought you here, or perhaps something from the world you left behind to come here.
Okay. Barian Dusk sits in what little, perhaps, grass clearing there is outside, kneeling. He is dressed in very little. He's actually dressed in like some functional lace-up boots, and honestly a loincloth, only a loincloth. He has kind of sharp, angular features, sharp teeth, pointed ears. There is a dagger at his side, like a sort of ceremonial dagger, and a brazier, like a bowl in front of him that its flame has burnt down to its embers. And what was in the brazier was an offering of release. And Barian Dusk has sort of a calico-like complexion. The hair is black, but it's also gray and blonde and red. Various expressions of the phenotype, signaling that perhaps this individual has a very genetic background, or just these traits are all being expressed at once. But he's taking the ash and kind of drawing lines down his arms, and marking his face as sort of like preparation. But I think the body language would this is kind of like he's got kind of like a gnarled face. I think he's probably has some scarring or some burns on the side of his face. And is just the look of a guy that probably hasn't had joy in 20 years, and just has perhaps had enough, and is waiting. He is the thing that perhaps is ready to die.
Well, he's come to the right place. I think that as Varian sits with the brazier, having burnt down an offering, and sort of is now ritualistically taking the ash from that and putting that through, you hear kind of distantly a little as a hawk alights in front of you. And you would recognize this as your familiar, who I don't believe we have a name.
We haven't, but I like the name Pixis.
Pixis seems to have found something in the rough approximation of a squirrel. It has, more eyes and tails than a squirrel should have, but it eats good enough. And has just kind of come back and is picking at it. Doesn't feel the need to offer anything to you or make eye contact. He knows that presence is enough to signify that, like, hey, I'm here. And you take in your surroundings.
How is it just jungle expanse ahead of us? Are we like, is it sort of like a concrete bunker building, chain link fence, and then?
So, as you, Barian, look out from the sort of like slate balcony of this locker room, which to call it a locker room is, to call an ocean a pool. This is a massive, beautifully architected building with glass windows in all directions, quarters for people to stay at. It's extremely well appointed, and it kind of sits atop a bluff overlooking the isla. You see that there is the sort of natural. First, you see, the city, the places where people who actually live and work here sort of get up to their business. And then beyond that, there is the deep jungle that moves all the way to what you can just sort of glean at the end of your vision is the caldera, the remains of the volcano that formed this island however many aeons ago. But you can see in the jungle that there are geodesic domes, and there are moving shadows. There's sort of bright flashes of green and purple light of an unnatural nature. The waters around Isla Muerte tend to oscillate between like this deep blue, the azul oscuro that they call the sort of deep blue of the ocean, and then in a moment switches to the Greeks called it wine dark, and it's that sort of thing kind of playing at the edge of your senses as you go between this deep blue and then something that has an almost otherworldly darkness to it. This island, this whole area sits right at the edge of a veil that has perhaps always existed, but has really found form and manifest and an entry into our world in this place. So deep jungle for sure, but there are you can see that there are different challenges and biomes and even structures created by the organizers of the sanatorium to excite the viewers at home.
Understood. I think Barian will do a whistle. He'll call to Pixis. Which is kind of like a indigenous whistle, sort of in his lineage, that he doesn't have anyone to practice that whistle with anymore except this bird. And sort of, well, I hope you had a good meal. Might be our last, but I appreciate the company into the final one last time. Huh?
Just looks up. Hops up on his shoulder.
Okay. And there's only one rule. You're not fucking dying before me.
Brilliant. Take a 2 in whistle.
Cool.
Ooh.
So Jonathan kind of finishes moving through his interviews, lets you get to a point where you can start to prepare for what's coming. You've already been through some trials and tribulations. This isn't, you're not going into this fresh. People have already died, and you have already made it through to rounds where it's like worth the station's time to come down and see who's still here, right? So you've got a little bit of time. You've got some time before you're going to kind of go into this next round. They never really quite give you exactly what is going to happen, but Barry, and you coming back in, having seen one of these geodesic domes, kind of feel that like there's a progression where there's this safe house and then there's that safe house, and you kind of make your way towards the caldera at the end. What, if anything, do you guys want to do in this space? There are other combatants here. There is equipment that you can be looking for, information that you could perhaps glean, and then obviously the three of you here, Spranston and Lucky have already had some kind of an interaction. Barry seems to be in a bit of his own world. What do you do?
Oh, I want to do some intimidating.
All right.
Is there like I kind of want to go Katniss Everdeen on this shit. Is there like a training, like a dummy I can practice throwing my axe at or something?
Absolutely, yes. There's a wide training area that you see with wooden dummies. The wood is clearly carved from the trees of this jungle, and so you see some people like doing katas on them, going through certain forms. Every now and then somebody will hit it in just a certain place and the wood will kind of like burst to life. A tentacle will kind of like pop out of it in the same way. So people are kind of getting a sense of how they're moving. But yeah, there's a good area where people are just kind of like getting limber.
One of my favorite tropes is the interdimensional hammer. And so I want to roll to see if I can like pull out additional like hand axes from my suit jacket pockets or something.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that'll be a do anything roll. Give me a 1d6 and we'll see if you can pull out some interdimensional.
No, that's a 2.
That's a 2. All right. That's fine. Take 1 glory. So yeah.
I think I forgot to put them in there or something. I started digging around like, I start swearing in hushed whispers and gnawing sounds in my mother tongue. So I just bring out my regular axe and then just swing it.
Great. So you are trying to take down one of these dummies?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to rush into it and just heavy diagonal slash.
Great. I think this will be pretty easy. It's not trying to do anything to you. You can. So the DC is going to be 3, and since you're swinging your axe, you can roll 2d6 about it.
Awesome. That's 6. Double 3s.
Double 3s. All right. 6 beats it. Yeah. You kind of roll your shoulders out, feeling a little weird for actually having felt the bottom of your pockets for the first time in however long. That's odd.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But, not one to lose face, especially when there's cameras about. Axe runs up, and what does it look like as you take this dummy down?
Oh, I'm debating if I want this to be very anime or not.
It should be.
Yeah, you're right. I think
it's your story, man. Live mine.
To thine own anime be true.
I think I just roll shoulders. It's this huge swing. This it almost looks like I'm putting too much effort into it, considering the size of the axe. Like it's not a great axe. It's just a typical wood cutting axe. Put all that force in it, slice down, and then I turn away. And at first it looks like nothing's happened, and then the classic anime like, and then an explosion.
I love it. Yeah, I think the explosion catches people off guard. It's like, whoa, what's going on? Okay.
I'm gonna approach as I see him doing that, and I'm gonna sort of go up, and I'm kind of just whistling a tune. I'm not like grabbing any of my instruments right now. I'm just gonna go, just as I'm walking up, just sort of whistling plainly. And once he turns around, I'm gonna sort of look at him and just very bluntly, no small talk, no introductions or anything like that. Just, hey, so that Randall guy fucking sucks, and we should kill him, probably together.
I like the cut of your jib, kid. Let's do it.
I'm like, cool. Yeah, here's something, and I hand over I reach over into my crazy bag, and I don't find it, and I start checking my cargo kilt, and in one of the pockets, I pull out just a small acorn with the top notched off in such a way, and I'm like, it's a whistle, so sort of communication, and I'll blow it as demonstration. Narratively, what I'm trying to do is pull in our other whistler.
I'm already picking up.
I just wanted to,
I gotcha. I gotcha.
I'll just and pass it. I don't know exactly, what kind of pitch it makes, because it's by no means a professional whistle.
Sure.
But it is a loud one. One that I think would almost be blended with the explosion that happened behind, because again, I approached as Lemon was turning around.
You're approaching as this explosion goes off, and sort of using this acorn whistle, trying to match that tone. But you do have this sort of ability. So what I would say here is, I think this is going to be kind of an average difficulty. We'll call it a 7, but you can use magic music for it. So roll 2d6, and let's see.
Sure. Yeah, that's an 8.
That's an 8. Hey, 8
Yes.
beats 7. So
Excelsior.
yeah, Barian, you sort of like just as you're coming back in, sort of in your own head, maybe feeding a little bit of this necrotic squirrel to Pixis. You hear a very, very familiar whistle coming from the training area of the locker room.
I sit up. Well, that's unusual, isn't it, Pix? And I eyebrows that direction. I kind of scowl. I want to emphasize that this guy looks like a gnarled tree oak of a man. Like his features are sharp like bark, not like sexy. This guy has had a life. He and is just. I want to exaggerate this. Okay, I want to be.
I mean, that
this
sounds
guy-
pretty sexy.
You flirt. Okay. And but I correct me if I'm wrong, Spranston, but you also had a big old backpack, didn't you, right?
I do, and I looked around through the backpack to try and find my acorn, but it was in my cargo kilt. So that's, yeah, big old backpack, couple instruments hanging off of it.
I think he says to Pix, but like maybe just like a predatory animal kind of circling a perimeter, like a radius, like 20, 25 feet around, just like a half circle, but as like just eyeballing the scene, but says to Pix, do you think he knows he's carrying a bunch of bullshit? And I think he'll just is beginning to kind of just assess and circle around, I think, waiting for the sign. There's almost something of like, look at this clearly over encumbered. You're gonna be slaughtered. A lamb to the slaughter. Look at this poor thing with their hiker's backpack in Isla Muerta. It's like
looking like a full tourist backpacker. He probably has the water bottle around somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's. Don't you know we don't take anything with us?
Right? Yeah. But does that mean you'll keep an eye on me? Because I'm done with my interactions in the locker room. I'm ready to go. I told Lucky that I'm ready to do some murder, and like I'm ready to go and get on it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So I think at this point, relatively, they look 19, but they carry themselves like a 70-year-old. They just come in all straight lines. This sort of young kid with just like thick black rimmed glasses, kind of fair complexion, black hair, and like a sharp, like almost governmental cut, wearing a just a suit, just nondescript suit. Kind of walks in.
Looks like a narc.
Full narc vibes.
What a narc!
Walks in and is like,
such a narc.
All right, combatants. We are getting ready to ship you off for the next stage of the Thanatorium. I'm the rep from United Youth. Kind of points over at Barry and is like, you look like somebody that hasn't paid your youth insurance bills, but we will make sure that all of you are taken care of. It's a little adjust your humor. Anyways.
I wanted if it's one of those shots like The Office, like we're on camera. I'm looking at this guy like I could stab you. It's one of those. The audience sees this oak of a man.
This adjuster carries themselves with the air of somebody who could care less about what you think you can do to them.
Ooh.
Love that.
My hand tightens on my knife.
I was like, hey, Save it for out there. All right, so you're gonna pair out. You're gonna go to pods at the end. You're gonna go through these tubes. You'll be popped up. You three into pod 1, you three into pod 2, and then it kind of points at Branston, Lucky, and Randall. You guys in pod 3. Oakman, you're going to be in pod 4, so you'll be distributed into the jungle. You have to get to the geodesic dome before the next 24 hours, and best of luck. And also, if anybody does want to upgrade their coverage, you know, now's a good time. We were running a good what's it called? These things where you make something cost less for no reason. Discounts, promotions that we're doing. So if you sign up now and you survive, hey, youth insurance will be at least cheaper, even if you don't win. So no shame in that. All right, I've got a Manhattan with my name on it, and you've got some killing to do. So have fun out in the fields. Kind of turns around and walks out as you guys are ushered towards your pods.
I feel like I made a mistake not trying to gather information during this time period, but whatever. Lucky Lemon's full of himself.
My character is ready for death, so he didn't want the information, he wanted the opportunity.
Yeah, I don't think Lucky is like expecting to win necessarily, because you don't have to win to get famous. He can be Miss Congeniality. He can make his mark doing something else in there.
Lucky and Branson, you're heading towards this this pod. There's a couple of like comfortable if small seats in it for you to sit into. Randall kind of like rolling his shoulders out. Again, sort of sees Lucky and it's like, hey, this is feeling pretty good. Gonna do some stabbing. Kind of like pulls out from behind his back a little, like just like a little Bowie knife. Almost looks like a souvenir of a Bowie knife, but like it's got clearly like some flicks and rust. Like it's seen a lot of use. Homeboy loves stabbing. And Baron, you sort of see them moving off into their pod as you are ushered into another pod with that same sort of like strapping Viking fellow from earlier, and a woman couldn't be more than like 4'9". This like really slight woman, like thick Coke bottle glasses and kind of a mousy demeanor, just kind of clutching like some scientific instruments very close to them, and trying not to make a lot of eye contact with people as you kind of move into your pods. And as those start to move through the kind of pneumatic tubes, and you can see the carved away rock underneath this structure as you're moving out, is there anything either of your two groups wants to do while you have a moment?
So we are in pods, like being transported into the challenge, basically.
Yeah.
Are we going through like tunnels? Is that kind of the vibe?
Yeah, it's kind of almost like a maglev situation. Honestly, it feels like you are in one of those old pneumatic tube dispensary things from the bank.
Okay.
Exactly what I've been picturing. That's excellent. With that in mind, are there rules in this game that we're playing?
So to zoom out, what you will all know is, as was the announcers sort of stated earlier, it's been well over 50 years since anybody died outside of this island. And this area and the complex that has grown up around it and the very concept of youth insurance are all kind of ways that humanity and capitalism have found to adjust to this new normal. the whole idea of this place is that it is somewhere where people who can't die and on some level feel like that is an important thing that is missing from the world, but don't want to experience it themselves, can be entertained by the concept of death, be entertained by that. Yeah. And so the only rules that you have been given as competitors here are like, if you're going to do it, if you're going to kill someone, if you're going to hurt somebody, if you're going to do anything here, make it entertaining, make it fun, do it for the cameras. So it's generally frowned upon to do things where people can't see, because that cuts out the whole entertainment value of the place.
So presumably there's cameras to like watch us as if we're like walking out, you know, on the wrestling stage, right? Like we've got cameras in here right now, right?
There, so you have seen the sort of like the eyes of this many-eyed thing. There is not one with you in this pod. There was one that followed you in, and then you have kind of a moment to yourselves to, like, you know, people get stage fright and things like that. They don't want to necessarily air that, so people get a moment to kind of get their head right. You get a sense that the second you pop up, there's going to be all eyes on you.
Got it. So then I'm just gonna like make sure that I'm gonna be like, Lucky, did you take the acorn? Did you? It's one. It's you got the acorn. They can be resonant, and I pull out another one. I'm like, you know, they can resonate together, and that's cool with that how that happens sometimes.
You seem kind of nervous.
I'm just bored right now. So
it's fine. Lucky leans in. Once we take out a man, I think you'll feel a little less bored.
Cool. I'm ready to fight so hard right now. I'm ready to like.
Same.
Randall is kind of sitting here, like digging his Bowie knife into like the side of the chair that he's sitting on. He's like, hey, that's some good energy. I love to see it. That's super cool. So what do you think happened with Nia Douglas the Great? What's going on out here, you think?
Oh my God.
Randall's the one we wanted to kill, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And what are the rules on?
There's no cameras in here.
Yeah, there's no cameras in there.
You can't actually die till you get to the island, though.
Yeah. Once you sort of move into that space, that's the space. Like, you could attack him right now, but it wouldn't like kill him, and it wouldn't necessarily like you would just be losing blood. Like, he'd still be up and able to.
Right.
To
that's why I didn't do anything. It's not on camera. There's not enough. Yeah.
But
otherwise, I would have done it. I'm just ready to get there and go.
Yeah. So it's just like, yeah. What do you think happened? I mean, all the cameras went out, and
Randall.
I mean, that's kind of cool, right? To just have something is like, you just don't know what happened. Like, I just feel like there's so few mysteries left now that like people don't die or whatever.
I feel like the biggest mystery is why you're still talking, Randall. Randall, please.
Randall, buddy.
Please. Like, why talk? Murder doesn't have foreplay.
Well, this looks like somebody's never murdered before. And we're going to cut over to Barian, sitting with this sort of strapping Viking and our little mousy compatriot. Anything going through your mind as you are being carted to the killing fields?
Are they both competitors or my chauffeurs, my escorts?
They both very much look like competitors, although looking like a competitor is not really something you can say about short stuff.
Sure. Does she appear armed?
She is clutching this like little device so tightly and kind of muttering to herself. It's like, it'll be worth it. Just gotta get some readings, and then we can back out. It's okay. We can get some readings, and we can forfeit, and it'll be all good. Just kind of like really muttering to herself.
Girl.
Oh, hello.
Breathe.
Ooh.
Breathe.
Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Ooh.
You breathe really fucking loud. They'll hear you from half a mile away. So you're gonna need to quiet it down. Okay.
So do I breathe or do I don't breathe? I don't. I just wanted to get some readings. There's this whole area where people can still die and we never study it, and they just put an arena here, and we need to understand it. I'm not supposed to be here. Oh boy.
We're all supposed to be in this arena.
Okay. And a big strapping Viking fellow just like sitting there is like, I'm just here for a good time. I think it'll be fun. You look like we had a bit of fun, friend.
I don't think there's much fun to this.
Fair enough. But it'll keep me in youth insurance for a bit, and a bit of ale afterwards. It'll be good. You both hear approaching fields. Approaching. 5, 4, 3, 2. A shudder as you guys reach an area, start to ascend. The top of the pod that you're in opens to a blue and purple sky as you hear announced over. And the next round of the Thanatorium begins now.
The moment it happens, I am going to start with my whistle and hope that Lucky Lemon follows along.
Yes.
But with no way of knowing whether or not that's the case. My goal is to use the dual resonance to basically attack Randall's eardrums. Presumably, he's looking up at, we're about to get there because he seems enthralled by the whole situation. I'm hoping with this moment of distraction, I can at least burst his eardrums just to start.
Okay, so you are going to roll to burst his eardrums with your
my magic music.
Magic music. Wonderful. I love that. There is something that I should mention that I hadn't mentioned before. There is a help mechanic in this game.
Okay.
Ooh.
And the way help works in this game is that you simply state which skill you're using to help with, and they can add the level of that skill.
Oh, okay.
So as you go to do this whistle, I presume that you're going to be using magic music. I'm going to roll a little constitution check for Randall here. You have to beat a 10.
I have to beat a 10. Okay.
What?
Mika, it's a good thing you're helping. Please help me.
Yeah, I'll help. I'm guessing I'm helping with anything.
Okay. So you're rolling your magic music. You get to add 1 for the do anything. And what did we get?
So I got a 4 total.
Okay. Mark XP.
Did you roll the additional dice for my help?
Oh, I think you roll the additional dice.
I do know. So you are adding your do anything for help. So that's just gonna add 1.
Oh, I also
just
rolled
1.
Yeah. And
okay. Then I just rolled 2 dice.
Yes.
So I'm gonna roll 1 more. Yeah. No. Okay. That's a 5.
Yeah. Great. So yeah, you go to blow the whistle, hoping that will distract and rupture something and rustle, and it is drowned out by the sounds of a pack of these six-legged talon creatures burst from the tree lines. You see one of the combatants goes to try and level a bow and arrow at it. The entire left hand just immediately consumed by this eyeless monstrosity, dead. There's chaos as this pack is released, and you guys are in pitched combat in the wild with a beacon lit in the distance from this clearing. You're gonna have to go through the woods to get there, but the game is afoot.
Yeah, I'm assuming Russell's distracted.
Russell is sorry. Russell has like the biggest shit-eating grin on his face, and is staring down one of these creatures, knife in hand.
All right, Russell, let's go after these creatures.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get some stabbing in. He's gonna run off and kind of sees this immediate threat coming, and is going to try and engage with one of these creatures.
And I'm gonna follow him and say, "Oh, Russell, I'm about to make you feel real good." And I bring up my axe and attack him from behind and try to behead him.
Ooh, okay. So yeah, he is so focused on this. I'm gonna say we're gonna roll just one for him because he is distracted. Ooh, okay. Roll your attack.
4.
4. Okay. With a 1 on the die.
Yes.
Randall catches an axe right behind the ribs. Blood gushes forth. Thick gobs of blood. As he falls. One of these creatures digs talons into his shoulder and lopes off into the distance, dragging him as he tries to scream through globs of blood. Randall has been removed from the field. Very well done.
That wasn't as satisfying as I thought it would be.
Anything else as you guys start to try to move? This place is flooded with attackers. People are being hit. Yet you see these sort of loping animals coming in, and you have to get to this beacon. What do you do?
I am. Oh wait, I haven't marked you yet. We haven't talked yet. Never mind. I wanted to talk to your character, but I can't yet. Never mind.
If what we would be doing on our side, it would be Barian would send Pix ahead to see if to report if there was anybody. It's like to see scouting to see if there for really it's scouting for game for what would have been prey in a different time. And
I will say I do think that you specifically hear Spranston's second whistle attempt in here.
Okay. I think then in that case, if I would have heard it, I'll actually gesture to Pix. Say, "Oi, you mind following the wee one? I just want to see that she gets to the next checkpoint."
Flies off. And a light on this across the he's like, oh.
Don't panic.
Okay.
It's just going to watch you. Consider it a guardian angel.
Thank you. Okay. She starts kind of running off, trying to you see her pull out antenna and trying to start doing some readings in this area, not really wanting to go any further in. And the Viking fellow beside her is just punching one of these things over and over again and trying to keep her safe. And you're free to move off.
I think I would slip into the brush and make my way towards the whistle for yet another what I perceive to be hapless fool bumbling towards their death. So I'll slip through the brush and try to make
Give
my
me
way
a
out.
stealth check. Yeah.
Just a 2d6.
Well, you would be. I think you
One?
can do anything. Yeah. So 1.
You got it. That's a 5.
5. Brilliant. Yeah, I think that you are able to. On a 5, I will say your choices here are to avoid detection by the creatures that are swarming on your position, or to avoid detection by the combatants. You can't have both.
I think I would sooner be avoiding detection from the creatures than paying attention to combatants.
Brilliant. Well, I think then as you sort of make that arc to come back around, you do kind of slip a little bit, staying inside of this, like as one of the creatures kind of like comes over your left shoulder, and you bump into one of the side of the pods, and it has that like sort of ringing sound, almost like hitting the bottom of a pan. And Lucky and Branson, you both hear that, and turn to see Varian.
You just see this frazzled, kind of angular, sharp, humanoid-ish man just sticking to the side of the pod. One gnarled eye burnt, one dagger in hand, off to the side, and just a single hand whispering to be quiet, and then with one eye just watching you, and then we'll just kind of
Lucky,
Yeah.
did you I don't know how to. Should we? Okay. You ever taken a magic bagpipe ride?
Qu'est-ce que c'est? You can rewind?
I'm gonna spin my backpack around and pull out from the one of the big pouches. I'm gonna just pull out a full fucking bagpipe. It's just a full fucking thing that's been in there.
I love it. No roll necessary. Yeah.
I'll zip it up and sort of like disrespectfully place it on, like just sort of drop it on the ground where it like sort of shudders out with like a, like as it loses some of the air that's inside. Look, I never figured out wing magic, but I can ride some fucking bagpipes. It just takes a couple of whistlers or music, whatever. I don't want to deal with these horrifying creatures that make me think about.
Can I trust you? Because I'm going to be real honest here with you, and maybe the rest of the world that's watching this will get me some. If no, I'm not a big fan of magic. Bunny ears, the whole cliche pulling a rabbit out of the hat, like it doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
So can you guarantee any kind of safety here? I'm a little.
I mean, I literally wanted to.
So I think in this moment,
okay.
as you say, can you guarantee me any kind of safety here? There's people being torn apart around you, and the creatures all kind of like stop in their track, all look in the same direction, and start running in the opposite direction as you hear.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, let's go.
I'm going to look back at unknown Oak Man.
I want to say the bagpipe is missing when you look back.
Fuck.
I want to say the bagpipe is missing.
Give me a sleight of hand check, I guess. So that'll be you do anything 1d6.
Okay.
I think this is going to be on the harder side to pull off.
That's okay. Because I'll tell you what I'll do if I fail when I fail.
DC is going to be 5.
Okay. That's a twofer. That's a twofer.
Okay.
I
Mark Glory.
Okay, got it. So I think in the moment that you looked away, the Varian has gotten like very fast, like in a low crouch, and has moved over to the bag because it's making a bunch of noise. And you see him pulling his dagger out, like about to stab the bag, so it won't be loud when the thump thump comes. And then you look back, and he's about to stab the bag.
Yeah, I'm gonna just briefly like seeing your arm up and everything. I'm gonna just take from my pack one of my flutes and just like almost like a sword, just sort of like stop your arm real quick, and I'll be like, perfect. We could use a third whistler just to get the bagpipe up in the air.
We're being hunted, you fucking fool.
Yeah, and we should fly out of here on my magic bagpipe ride.
You hear trees cracking like massive popsicle sticks as a 12-legged monstrosity, this amalgamation with like long tentacles where hair should be, 3 eyes, a slathering mouth, cracks through, moving through. As he steps in, just fully crushes one of the other combatants.
Lucky's shaking.
I hate that thing. I hate that thing so much. I will sit down on the bagpipes and like grab the mouthpiece and like start going, and I'll just turn around to the other 2 of them and I'll be like, y'all better join me in my song if you want to come along.
Yeah, Lucky's gonna like grab Varian.
You know what? Take XP for the rhyme. That's lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I was actually going to ask if I could spend XP on whatever roll I have to do to fly away to ensure that we fly away right now.
So you can only spend XP to get skills, but you can help each other. You can use your help.
Okay.
So this thing is barreling forward with the intensity, speed, and inertia of a freight train, and you guys are at a dead stop. So this is going to be pretty difficult for you to escape unscathed. The DC will be 10. At 7, you'll get away, but with some injuries, and below that, it starts looking really bad.
All right, so I've got my magic music.
Great.
Can we not use glory to increase?
You can use glory to bump it up to like a 6 for advancement to get a new skill, but not for narrative success.
Not for narrative success. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, I will roll my magic music. Are you guys doing something musical with me?
I will be. I think he'll take his dagger to his mouth, and he'll use it.
Oh,
and
yes.
there's a groove in the side of the hilt of the blade that forms like
so
a really
sexy.
effective like.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
And is going to hang on for flight, right?
Great.
Question mark. Okay, yeah.
And Lucky, what are we doing?
I just take out the acorn and
Great. So
blowing into it.
Branson, you're rolling magic music 2d6. You can add 2 for Barion's whistle and 1 for Lucky's whistle. So it'll be 2d6 plus 3.
Okay.
So it'll be 5 total d6.
It'll be 2d6 plus 3.
Plus 2d6 plus 3. Understood.
10.
Do I need
10...
to spend the XP ahead of time?
No.
Okay, I can spend it after. Like if I get a 5, I can bump it up to a 6 for.
Yeah.
Excellent. So it's. I'm so sorry. One more time. Explain this to me.
2d6 plus 3.
Okay. 2d6 plus 3. 2d6 plus 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I stop falling off the table. 2d6 plus 3 is going to get me 12.
12. Incredible.
And I did get 1/6.
You got 1/6. What's the other one?
The other one is just a 3, but I still wanted to spend the XP. Does that bump it up?
That would. How much XP do you have?
Oh, I only have the 2, so I don't have enough. Okay,
So you
no
wouldn't have-
worries.
Great. But on a 12, describe what it looks like as your music and your whistles and sheer just like flop sweat energy of like the world's worst time to form a jam band has come. Together. What does it look like as you guys fly away from this dozen-legged monstrosity?
So I'm just gonna start sort of like inflating and playing the bagpipes. I'm sitting on top of it. Presumably the other two are standing kind of nearby. And so I'm just gonna and I'm just gonna slowly it's gonna start inflating underneath me. And at some point I'll be standing. And as it's inflating and sort of rising up, I'm gonna like back up like a 5-point turn, like in a car. Just back up, scoop up, lucky, back up, scoop up, bury, and then just keep sort of rising awkwardly, like it's a little bit hovery, but then as I see this monster approaching and presumably a lot of eyes turned towards me and spears thrown in the general direction of the inflated bagpipe that now sort of has a trail behind it of magic music waves, you know. I'm
like fully cartoon notes flowing
behind me. I am going to use my full thigh power to squeeze the bagpipes between my legs and zoom off. And it's just gonna sort of right in the sky, mezzo forte, and then just and just
oh my god,
sprint off into the jungle, or at least in the direction of the beacon.
Oh, I love that so much. You guys blast off into the jungle, almost following this pack of lesser monstrosities, blasting past your competition, getting into the jungle, moving throughout, starting to maneuver. I would like each of you to give me some sort of perception check.
I got a 3.
That's a 2.
We're so dumb.
The past 2 days, I've been rolling like trash.
I also evidently rolled a 2.
Okay, so on a 2 and a 3 and a 2, as you zoom off into the jungle where further horrors await you, what you don't see is a gnarled old hand wrapped in bandages, wrapped around you would think it to be a staff of wood, but for the unmistakable bend and ball towards the top that would mark it as the femur of some animal. Sees you zoom into the woods, regards the monstrosity, and moves into the darkness. And we're going to take a break
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, we will be back in 10 minutes, 45 after the hour. Cacao.
Bye. Oh my goodness.
Persuading charisma is getting hazy. I bought all of these munitions, but my alignment is holding me back. These gods have faces that inside all my frustration. Initiate some incisions. Maybe it's time I roll for attack. Maybe we're too far off track. In spite of monsters that we've slayed, the nobles treat us with such hatred. They always stop us at the gate, increasing levels of taxation. I pray the gods above will send a blessing. Whoa, 'cause lately every shot spot and stressing the gold I'm possessing. No more HP. Preparing battlegrounds, level ones in the crowd. Not many are allowed. One crit could bring them down. So squishy from the mold. They're weak but very bold. Took hours to propose, but seconds to dispose. Who starts this alone? You say it is. Yeah, they'll gain ground to break dust. Oh, it's too easy. Killing alpha players, level 1 PC. No longevity. Falling up too high a tree. No more HP. No more HP. You better flee. Preparing battlegrounds, level 1's in the crowd. Not many are allowed. One crit could bring them down. So squishy from the mold. They're weak but very bold. Took hours to propose, but seconds to dispose. Who starts this alone? You say it is. Yeah, they'll gain ground to break dust. Oh, it's too easy. Killing alpha players, level 1 PC. No longevity. Falling up too high a tree. No more HP. No more HP. You better flee. No more HP. No more HP. We're supposed to be a boon, but I've been hearing voices from the moment I tuned. You heard the zombies right into sanity. About to break this sword. No, I cannot disown. Wisdom feeling worth it, cutting closer to the bone. I'm scorned, my party does implore. Please throw that evil thing away. I'm not as brave as it appears. So many nights in tears, so my patron invaded my dreams. Often fabled powers, wow, impressing knights in crown. Love the flattery, but I'm hiding evil inside me. No light can break this thrall. This cursed blade, it brought out to us all. This sword was supposed to be a boon, but I've been hearing voices from the moment I tuned. You heard the zombies right into sanity. About to break this sword. No, I cannot disown. Wisdom feeling worth it, cutting closer to the bone. I'm scorned, my party does implore. Please throw that evil thing away. Here at me, character ready. I'll join the crew. D20 raring, join the melee. I'm vaccinated, let's play in person. Party tune, monk strike, paladin smite, cleric runes, roadside, druid wild shaping. I love role-playing new, race stats, full class, rewrites, homebrew 2, just fight, be worth bandaging. I love role-playing. Build backstory much too thick, D&D transfer for hours, been forever, scream Eureka. Players who can enter the story and don't need glory, but know when to be the perfect guide. Engaging with the mission as we go on expedition. It's so awesome, I'd roll 9 to 5. Not bitter if we die, glimmer of the prize, that would bring us back to life. All my dreaming guarantees that if I do a company, I'll fit in better than these rights. Here at me, character ready, I'll join the crew. D20 raring, join the melee. I'm vaccinated, let's play in person. Party tune, monk strike, paladin smite, cleric roots, roadside, druid wild shaping. I love role-playing new, race stats, full class, rewrites, homebrew 2, just might be worth managing. I love role-playing. I love role-playing. I love role-playing. This group is homicidal.
NPCs got no vitals.
They gawk
At crime,
but soon
they'll find
the
the
DM ends the cycle saving throw.
Which movie holds their eyes? These creatures will be their demise. TPK. They tree traps on the ground, make one wrong step. Wait, what's that sound? TPK.
Monsters are so burly, resistance makes them sturdy. The dungeon crawls a
non-stop brawl, they waste their big spells early.
Which would be too easy. A quick end would not please me. The slow descent into madness is payback for NPCs. It's the sovereign glue that makes the arrow stay in you. TPK. This party just rolled their saves. I guess today won't be the day. TPK.
Been working a job that I can't stand anymore. Been waiting for someone to take a shit from me. There's nothing standing between me and that door. All these players I know are who I wanna see. What if I play a druid who's fey? We can finally clear this cave. Then I can change into a creature that I wanna be. So roll, it's D&D night.
Yeah.
Play as a bard on the weekend. Can I get another healing? Roll, it's D&D night. Yeah, bonus gold, gonna spend it. Merchant ring us up another pendant. Roll, it's D&D night. Yeah.
It's D&D night.
Role play as a bard on the weekend. Can I get another healing? Roll, it's D&D night. Yeah, bonus gold, gonna spend it. Merchant ring us up another pendant. Roll, it's D&D night. Role play as a bard on the weekend. Can I get another healing? Roll, it's D&D night. Yeah, bonus gold, gonna spend it. Merchant ring us up another pendant. Roll, it's D&D night. New big shape is what I'm feeling. Can't stand spells while I chew into you. Give me just one bonus action and I'll show you what a force of nature can do. I feel connected to the earth, gathering spores, plants, animals. I breathe in, speaking, bleeding. I'm the protector of all of the outdoors. Druidic circle, seeking. The Fae is nothing new. Blue what's real, heal the wounds. All animals are nice, kill monsters without fights. Give death a second life, decompose upon sight. Change my form on a whim, now fly or swim. Take a short rest after the fight. The kobold were vicious, but we won despite of our greedy rogue looting all in sight. Oh, and now we has cursed armor. The rogue never knows better. Our bard is tried, casting a dispel magic. Barbarian, just feel the strange jet. Our paladin says she won't lift a finger. The rogue looks panicked and said, come on, cleric, please cast remove curse on me. I swear that I'm chafing. Get this armor off of me. I'll start praying to your deity. He says, ooh, get this armor off me.
Welcome, everyone. Gather round. We're about to begin.
Cause they have them supple demon wings. Hooves with the fur. The whole cult of summon and blood. They'll snatch your soul. Next thing you know, drug you be low. Till dancing in trance, signing blood on these contracts. They caught up in a hellish hedonistic trance. They'll snatch your soul. Next thing you know, drug you be low. Hey, I never summoned something like this before.
to go unpreferable. I'm such a fool. Hold up, wait a minute, do I see what I think I will? They began to start eating my soul. This ain't part of the ritual. Chaos reigns amid big trouble. Drop persuasion, demons said no. Told them I'm enjoying keeping my soul, and that I would trade them all on my gold. Demon just laughed at me, didn't say more. Guess I should read the next contract in full.
'Cause they have them supple demon wings, hooves with the fur, the whole cult of summon and blur. Hey, they'll snatch your soul, Next thing you know, drug you be low, 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 low. Till dancing in chance, signing blood on these contracts. They caught up in a hellish hedonistic trance. Hey, they'll snatch your soul, Next thing you know, drug you be low, 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 low.
Hey, demon, what I gotta do so I can go? My dear made it clear I should hit the road. Matter of fact, contract should be rewrote. Patron pointed out a couple things to know. 1 pack, come on. 2 packs, come on. 3 packs, come on. Now that's too bad, my soul remains all intact. Cause of that, you're gonna need another draft. After I showed them it was straight inferno, I knew it was over. I found a loophole that reclaimed me. My soul is highlighted in bold, there it couldn't control. So I started to get up and roll like a stroller. Right out the portal, then closed it. Sorry, I had to inform ya. Just keep in mind like a warning if they show you their
Supple demon wings, hooves with the fur, the whole cult of summon and blur. Hey, they'll snatch your soul, Next thing you know, drug you be low, 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 low. Till dancing in chance, signing blood on these contracts. They caught up in a hellish hedonistic trance. Hey, they'll snatch your soul, Next thing you know, drug you be low, 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 low.
We make our memories, wake, drive, work, rest. But we are more than these. I've made 1,000 lives with friends. I sailed the sky as just a little guy. You bit my neck and led me through undeath. We commune with gods, overcome our scars. In fiction, forged in fiction, we remain. I sailed the sky as just a little guy. You bit my neck and led me through undeath. We commune with gods, overcome our scars. In fiction, forged in fiction, we remain. Falling in love to fight the apathy. Enemies to friends, we hope, we dream. Watch as it all ends with a sword swing. We make our fantasies, wake, love, high quest. And we'll remember these as our life fades on deathbeds. I sailed the sky as just a little guy. You bit my neck and led me through undeath. We commune with gods, overcome our scars. In fiction, forged in fiction, we remain. I sailed the sky as just a little guy. You bit my neck and led me through undeath. We commune with gods, overcome our scars. In fiction, forged in fiction, we remain. I sailed the sky as just a little guy. You bit my neck and led me through undeath. We commune with gods, overcome our scars. In fiction, forged in fiction, we remain. I sailed the sky as just...
Oh, that's wild. That's another one.
Hiding and shaking, I shiver. Cursing these murderous heroes. Take random encounters, unsolvable puzzles, and crazy huddles. Give me time to think. You don't understand the stress I'm feeling. Tying up loose ends, you cut so freely. I lost control over this party. The session's off the rails completely. Let's roll the dice dice and improv everything. Planning don't mean a thing. I give up GMing. I lost control over this party. This session's off the rails completely. Let's roll the dice and improv everything. Planning don't mean a thing. I give up GMing. I'm so sick of this.
This freaking party. What do I need to build to make this night a thrill? Just give me a sign or I rely on a total party kill.
Right, save me.
I lost control over this party. The session's off the rails completely. Let's roll the dice and improv everything.
Planning don't mean a thing. I give up GMing.
I lost control over this party. The session's off the rails completely. Let's roll the dice and improv everything.
Planning don't mean a thing. I give up GMing.
Falling through my plot holes, floating in the unknown. Maybe I don't write the story. Maybe the magic is in we.
I lost control over this party.
The session's off the rails completely. Let's roll that dice and improv everything.
Planning don't mean a thing. That's why I'm GMing.
I lost control over this party. The session's off the rails completely. Let's roll the dice and improv everything.
Planning don't mean a thing.
Yeah, I love GMing. Let's just go.
The persuading charisma is getting hazy. I bought all of these munitions, but my alignment is holding me back. These gods have faces that inside all my frustration. Initiate some incisions. Maybe it's time I roll for attack. Maybe we're too far off track. In spite of monsters that
Hey, welcome back to Roll D5. I don't like the way I just did that, but that's okay because we're moving on. This is the second half of our game of Roll for Shoes, which is a rules-light game, and you know how much we love rules-light games here on Roll D5. Before I turn the time back over to Dain, first let me talk about our sponsors. First up, we have Homebrew Coffee Co. That's right. If you need a little pick-me-up on your TTRPG journey, Homebrew Coffee Co. I have some Hocho mix I got from them. It's delicious. Next up on our list is Smoking Glue Guns. That's right, the Whitney who creates the most beautiful looking click-clacks that you should definitely not eat. They're not edible. Well, I mean, anything's edible if you think about it, but you still should not eat these. They're nice to look at, nice to roll. They give you good luck. I just made that up. They probably don't give you good luck, or maybe they do. I don't know. You'll have to buy a pair or 7 sets and figure it out on your own. Slay. And then finally, Gemmed Firefly. That's all right. Gemmed Firefly. They have shirt with thing you like on it. They. I have lots of fun geek stuff. A lot of it's very D&D focused, but lots of great geek. You know, you can get a mug that says "Crying is a free action." You can get a Pride dice flag. I have a doormat that says "Roll for Initiative." So yeah, just click on those links that we have here on our Twitch page, and yeah, there we go. Onto the game.
Wonderful. I would like shirt with thing I like on it. That sounds like a great thing to get. Great. We're back. And we're back with the wonderful annual Thanatorium. We are here live. Our combatants have gone out into the world. Really wild showing. Greg, how do you feel about like seeing some of your compatriots on the field, getting in there and like mixing it up? Hey, I mean, you see the strategy a lot better than I do, but I feel like it's a really wild showing. Amazing coming out the gate, taking down one of these combatants, dragged off to who knows where. But then, of course, we see summoned from the darkness the darkness himself, the abyss, this massive aberration coming out of nowhere to come and tear our folks limb from limb, which I mean, let's be honest, that's what some of them are here for. Out of nowhere, a fellow over here grabbing a bagpipe of some sorts, filling it up and farting their way to freedom. And we now pick up with the three of you moving through brush and vine under canopies, trying to sort of keep pace with these smaller aberrations, these smaller monstrosities, and trying desperately to just have a moment to catch your breath before your next step. You are on a bagpipe of sorts. You have some semblance of movement. You are under tree cover, so that larger aberration would have to kind of like charge in to find you. You kind of hear back some sickening screams and bones breaking as he picks off some stragglers, apparently looking for his equivalent of fast food, as it were. As you are now flying into the jungle, and getting that sense like really thick with the smell of some noxious pollen and the buzz of insects that are almost Precambrian in size, just kind of moving through the space. What is moving through your party's mind as you are now finally a party?
I hate magic. 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 And I think he's saying all of this like in his native tongue, which is just like just like that.
That's the native bunny speak.
Yeah, hushed whispers and gnawing sounds. Yeah.
Okay. Sick. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Good. The nightmare world. All right.
It's a human with the head of a rabbit.
Yeah,
Nightmare world indeed.
Silly me. This is a nightmare world. I whistle for my bird. I'll call for Pixis to return to me as we move into the next area, and I'll.
Great. I love that. The difficulty, because you did send him off to take care of
watch her.
Yeah, and with the chaos and noise, I'm gonna say that is going to be hard but not impossible.
Okay.
DC 8.
Sure. At +2 whistle.
Yeah. So you can roll 2d6 for using your whistle.
Okay, got it. I did not get it. That was a 4.
That was a 4. All right.
Okay.
Please mark an additional glory.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's go.
So yeah, you whistle and do not hear the telltale caw of your bird to note that he's received it. So
okay, right on.
I'm running out of bagpipe steam, and I feel like we're slowly lowering to the ground to the point where eventually we all just sort of one at a time find our feet, like boop, 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 flat on the ground, and the bagpipe sort of shrivels up, and I'll look at it and I'll be like, I'm out of breath. I have to switch instruments. And I just sort of like spin it around and like pop it like candy, like not candy.
Cotton candy?
Cotton candy. Yeah, sort of like spin it around itself and like pop it like cotton candy back into my backpack. And I'll grab an instrument off the side and I'll be like, okay, let's cut a forest path. And I grab a ukulele and I and I just try and sort of slash a C sharp
Nice.
into the forest and get my way through it.
Quality pun. Yeah, DC 7. Let's see
Yeah.
what you got.
And I'm going to use my axe to slash through.
Great. So you will each have separate DC 7 rolls, and we'll see how you fare in the jungle.
Okay.
9. One of those is a 6.
Brilliant.
I have got it doesn't matter unless both are 6s, right?
Correct.
Just in terms of upgrading.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a 7.
Okay. So 7 meets it, beats it. That's great.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so in pretty short order, I think you see that like your sonic quality, that C sharp as you will, kind of cuts through some of like the tangles in the underbrush, making it easier for you to walk. Lucky, I think that there are some of the thicker like waterlogged vines that are crossing over your path, and you're able to pretty in short order start slashing through those as you guys start making your way through the forest.
So then I'll turn to Barian, who's not like really talked with us at this point, and I'll say, "Hey, I don't know your deal. You do look interesting. Look, I guess I've been bored lately, so I guess I'm just curious, like, what do you like?" Sort of very innocuous, like, what do you like?
I like long walks in scenic woods. Not fucking talking to people.
Okay, I'm bored again. I'll shut up. and I'll just keep sort of C sharp slashing through as we try and find our way to a proper path to guide us to that beacon.
Brilliant. Yeah, Lucky, anything from you as you're kind of cutting through these vines with the axe?
Still thinking about how much he hates magic. Just focusing all of that energy and rage into just cutting the brush around him. And he says just something like, no, this is a show. This is a show. You gotta show something. You can't just not talk to people. You gotta do things you're uncomfortable with sometimes. Like talking. No, it's fine. I wrote on magic. You can talk to us. It's great, my dude. It's fine. It's all fine. Everything is fine. I'm hip. I'm cutting away this shrubbery. It doesn't look like there are any little spooky mon-mons around us. No 12-legged creatures, and maybe I spoke too soon, but it's okay. It is fine.
I think as you say, spooky little mon-mons kind of like lazily drifting out of the right side of your peripheral vision is just a little mote of shadow with a gleaming eye in it, kind of just like following along and getting a close-up as you very quietly spiral out in this moment. As you walk
I
through.
want to roll for something that I haven't done yet.
Yeah, that's the game.
Yeah, and I feel like I've been really sticking to my magic music, but I want to dive into different kinds of things.
Absolutely.
So I'd really like to try and listen to the perception of resonance. I'm trying to get the resonance of these cameras.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can play in such a way that may manipulate them. Like the old, what is it? You go to the phone boxes and you could play that whistle note and you get a free call.
4400, yeah.
Right. So yeah. So like I'm trying to get something like that manipulates them in one way or another.
Okay. Let's see it. 1d6. We'll see. I think in order for you to succeed at this is going to be a little harder than easy, so we'll call it a DC 5. But you can hit that on a 1d6.
Well, we're gonna hope I can.
Yeah,
we're gonna hope I can right here. I got a 6.
Woo! Okay.
Slay.
Incredible. We love that. That's our first new skill since
That's our first new skill.
Great. So you are listening for these resonant frequencies, trying to pick up on like what wavelength are they even working on,
Yeah.
and you find yourself as you are listening. Suddenly, you have this burst of cool around you, like walking into a cellar on a hot day. There's just this cool feeling that prickles across your skin as you are listening, and you're hearing these echoes moving through. Your hairs on your skin stand up, and a voice deep in some part of your unconscious says, "Are you enjoying your wish?" And you're back in the present moment with a new skill. We will call that...
If we want to go super basic, we can do resonance perception.
I'm going to go even more basic and give you a 2 in listen.
A 2 in listen. Okay. I'm horrified of this island. Cranston's not having a good time. Andrew is fascinated and terrified. Spranston is just terrified.
Yay,
So
I love
I'm
that.
gonna listen. I'll hear that and I'll be like, nope. And I'm just gonna walk really, really fast, and I'm gonna to a point where it becomes a run, and I'm gonna start sprinting towards where I think the beacon is going.
Brilliant. Yeah, as you're going through, I need everyone to give me some kind of call it like a navigation check, to make sure that you're still heading in the right direction towards this beacon.
I should be good at that with all my
Nope.
birdness.
Is this straight nope, Lucky?
That was a 2.
That was a 2. Take another glory.
4.
4.
I know that I just got this skill, but can I try and listen to the resonance of the beacon in the sky?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna use my listen stat.
Yes.
And that is gonna be a total of 6.
Total of 6. So we have a 2, a 4, and a 6. Yeah, I think, Barian, you are perhaps distracted, having not having heard a response from Pixis in this moment, and are maybe veering a little bit towards I want to find that more than anything else. Lucky, on a 4, I think you catch a slight gleam from the top of your sunglasses that...
Oh, I got 2.
You got the 2. Sorry, you had the 2, Barry had the 4.
Your glasses break. No.
No.
Yeah, lucky you don't know.
So that's what I'm focusing on, my broken sunglasses.
Okay, my mistake. Lucky you don't notice it. Barian on a 4. I think that you do have that distraction of Pixis, but you have also spent so long in these sorts of places that you are able to sort of use sense memory, and rather than relying on sight and sound, you're relying on just pure somatic sense of well, I feel like the ground is sloping towards these ways, and are kind of able to move in those directions. Spranston, as you listen for this beacon, I do believe that you start to gain a sort of a clearer sense of what is sort of in front of you as you're sort of trying to move towards the beacon. The beacon sounds fine. It's kind of more clean and crisp and metallic. And I think what you are picking up in this is there's a very big difference between the man-made stuff in this place, which is the pneumatic tubes and the geodesic dome and the beacon that you're going towards, and the more not of man things in this place. like the shadow that we're listening to.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't think I've tuned into all of that information. I think what happened is I was so scared of what I just listened to that I tuned into something as different from it as I could. A literal beacon of light.
Yes.
And I literally am like closing my eyes, sprinting away from this, haplessly through the forest. Eventually my eyes will open and everything, but I'm just horrified of what I just heard. And I have no idea what my wish was, unless my wish was for things to not be so boring. And I guess it's not right now. And I just keep running. And I don't know if they're following me or not. But I just keep going.
Yes. Great. So as you guys are moving through, still cutting through these vines and whatnot, let's just do a group like let's call it a luck roll. This is just be straight up a 1d6, and we'll take the middle value.
I got a 6.
Okay. I love that for you.
Luck for lucky.
Yes. What are our other two 1d6 rolls here?
Let's see.
Don't get mad. I got a 6.
5.
5.
Can I get a 2d6 luck stat now for that ability?
So this is what is about to happen. And Baron, if you want to burn an XP to bump that 5 to a 6, this can happen.
I will.
Great. Yeah. You have your first entry into this place was so vicious and chaotic, but since sort of moving into the deeper wood, you've actually had a moment to catch your breath. You're starting to like get your bearings and your feet. You are starting to cut through this brush, starting to listen, starting to like, okay, I'm here, I'm doing things. There's a level of presence that you are all finally bringing. You're not kind of in your head about it. You're not in that like pre-game. You're here.
Yeah.
And so much of luck is not just things going right, but being present, being in the moment for when things go right, that you can take advantage of a situation. So all of you are going to get a 2 in luck, but what I would like you to each to do is give me a more specific expression of how your luck manifests in this place.
Ooh.
What does it mean for your character to be lucky?
I think Barian's luck is kind of like 9 lives, and there's been just time after time where he was able to walk away from like a catastrophe, an eldritch being, himself, and he just continues on. And so I think his luck is he's like, come on, like come on, do it. And I think that's how his luck manifests.
Great. Please take a 2 in escape danger.
That sounds cool. Yeah.
Lucky and friends.
I think he just kind of stumbles into luck blindly and dumbly.
Mm-hmm. So things present themselves and stumbles into that. I love that. You take a 2 in accept gift.
Ooh.
I think my kind of luck is maybe luck is sort of a stretch for what it is, which is more like a locking into an intuition that is not as regularly available, like being able to tune right into that beacon and bolt right there. I think it's locking into a higher level of a skill, whether it's just for a moment or just inexplicable level up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dig into that one step further. That locking in, does that feel internal, locking into something within Spranston, or external, locking
External.
into something? Okay. Then
Because it's music, you know, it's improvisation, it's jazz, it's the back and forth.
Please take a 2 in have faith.
Oh, excellent.
You, as you are moving through, are able to follow the natural slope of the hills, kind of avoiding. There's I think a couple moments where you hear some twigs crack in the distance, and then it settles and kind of moves away from you. And as you guys just sort of move together, Varian using his natural skills in the forest, Lucky just taking down some of the larger vines and obstacles, Branston, you cutting out the underbrush and listening and paying attention, and I'm providing a little ditty for moral support. I think before long, you guys find yourself like exiting a little clearing where you can see in the distance this sort of geodesic dome that you had seen from where you guys started. I think as you come through and see, you have approached it from a direction different from where you were viewing. And I think the first thing that you notice is that the dome is not complete. The entire back portion of this has been sort of blasted and decayed and ripped apart. It appears that there had been a sort of safe house here. As you kind of look through and can kind of see like areas for people to sleep and rest and just sharpen their knives and axes and accoutrements. But the structural integrity is no longer there. And it appears that you might be the first of your compatriots to arrive here. What do you all do as you arrive at this sort of somewhat destroyed bunker?
Do you think there's anything here?
I think there's only one way to find out, and can't say I'm not interested. It seems like it might not be boring.
No, I was just gonna say, can I roll accept gift to see if there's something here?
Yes. What manner of thing are you hoping to receive in this moment?
Ooh, shit, Dan, I don't think this far ahead, okay? I was just happy you said yes. I didn't think you'd say yes. So I think before I start looking, I'm just going to ask the other two, like, so what kind of thing should we be looking for here? What do you think could help us? Bueller?
Was that to everybody? Sorry, I didn't.
It's strange, don't you think? They get us to work all the way inwards, and then there's nothing here. All the monsters in the outside rings. You would think there'd be. What were they all running from?
I think it was the big fucking monster.
Yeah.
I feel like it was the big fucking. Should we just try and be like in it and see if it's safe and like, you know, because we got to get to the beacon somehow.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll to see if I can find something that can help us get to the beacon.
Okay. I love that. Let's go 7.
That is a 6 and a 3 for 9.
Ooh, very nice.
Yes. Now my luck's starting to get better.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I think coming 7 on a 9. Yeah, just peering from where you are, you didn't. It's funny, you didn't notice it before, but like as you're kind of looking through, you do see something that looks like headlights almost, like a single headlight. So sort of thing that might belong to like a motorcycle or a land speeder situation. Seems pretty cool.
Hey, I found a thing. I found a ride. It doesn't rely on magic.
I mean, I don't know if that's a ride or if it's just like a light, which I guess seems good with all the shadow monsters. There's like is there an inside that we can go like, or is this just like a open area? Like,
So there's sort of an open clearing, and there's this building, almost like an observatory in the middle of it, right?
yeah, okay, so we can go inside it.
So you could potentially approach and go inside, and I think Lucky kind of looking through the back, seeing this, this headlight, like it's strange, right? Because there's nobody here, and this is blasted, and it almost gleams like almost like it was on recently, or is it just powering up? Like it just has a bit more of light. It could just be catching whatever ambient light is here, honestly. But yeah, it looks like there's a door you could go through. There's this blasted back area you could probably check out.
Why don't you just take it and let's go? Like I could go in there and look for a weapon or something, but I have other stuff that I can use too. So like, I don't know if we need anything other than to get to the beacon. Like I could look for more acorns. I don't know. If you want to take a motorcycle, I say go for it. I'm gonna just keep walking. I kind of stopped being interested in this place as soon as you looked inside instead of me. So,
My dude, that's kind of rude.
Yeah.
No, it's just like
Yeah.
what's the point of me being here if you're already doing the looking? Like, I'll just.
We can just pretend that I didn't look. I can just oh, I'm backing out and back. Oh, nope, I don't recognize this place. I guess I'll. Oh, maybe you should go in first.
I don't like games, and I just walk like I just. My character is but like the cameras are constantly not watching me because I'm just so boring.
Are you walking back into the jungle, or clearing?
I'm still marking the beacon, and I'm like
the beacon was for here.
This is the beacon?
Yeah, this was that first.
How did I miss that part?
This was that first waypoint. I probably didn't say it, but
oh, there's another waypoint then.
Yeah, so there's like the next one. This is the first waypoint, so this is you're kind of making your way through.
Okay, guys, if this is where we've been trying to go to, and I completely misunderstood that because I was looking at my feet instead of like the sky where there's a beacon, I'm gonna just like go see if they have like a chai latte in there or something. So I'm gonna just I'm gonna real quick, like I feel like we should scope out the place, but it would be more interesting like to do an ambush. Do you guys want to ambush whoever may be in there? Like there may be no one in there, but I feel like we should go in and attack shit.
I think you should go take a look and let us know if there's anyone to ambush.
All right, here I go.
Yeah, blow the acorn.
You blow the acorn?
No, you blow the acorn if you see
I blow the acorn. I'll blow the acorn if there's some okay. And I put the acorn like hovering between my lips. And and I'll put away my lute or my ukulele or whatever. And I'm gonna pull out like a full fucking mace. And I'll be like, this is my drumstick. Like, I suppose is it a mace or a morning star? What's the one that's just the ball at the end? That's a shillelagh at that point. I pull out my shillelagh.
Sure.
And I'll just be like, this is my drumstick. Let's go. And I'm just going to like very calmly open the door if it's not locked. Like I'm gonna just sort of open the door, shillelagh and whistle, ready to go. What do I see?
You open the door, shillelagh and whistle, ready to go. Lucky and Barry, you guys are hanging back?
I think... Is it like the door? I'm picturing kind of like a busted amphitheater. I'm picturing like a destroyed bunker. So, like an amphitheater, right? Like the top is kind of missing because we dropped down. And then there was a door. I imagine like going into like, if we think of like Hunger Games terms, like the cornucopia, right? Like I'm picturing like that kind of formation into like a lower tunnel cave system. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so picture like an observatory, so like a cylindrical building with a hemispherical top, and like the back half of it has largely just been destroyed, or ripped off, or broken off, or perhaps something very large went by it and took a portion of it with it, and so it's a largely above ground building with like the back half of walls removed.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be on the other side of the door, in case they come running out, and not to stab them, but to stab the person that maybe would come after them, unless we run inside. I don't know. I'll be behind the door. I sneak to door.
Sneak to door. And Lucky, any moves from you?
Can you re-describe the scene real quick?
So in the clearing, there is a sort of observatory, geodesic dome on top of that. Half the building has been largely destroyed. In the back, sort of through the blasted walls, you're able to see sort of like scattered books and various sort of like the things that would be in a place of like learning, and it looks like a motorcycle there, right? It has got a bright light that's kind of shining. Spranson has moved around to the front to enter through that front door where it seems like a person should go through, and Barian is waiting kind of to the side of that in case anybody decides to run out.
Cool. I'm throwing a rock through the window.
Okay.
As I open it, hell yeah.
Sick.
Oh wait, you're going through. I thought you were going through the front door.
I'm going through the front door.
Yeah,
You're not throwing a rock.
Yeah,
through
and
the
then I'm
front
throwing a rock
window.
through a different window. So like,
into the
if
same
anyone's
area.
in there, it confuses them. Yeah.
Right. Good. Perfect. Let's go.
Great. So we have an open door and we have a throw rock.
Yes.
So let's get some rolls going.
love
Barian,
open doors.
you're waiting.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
Can
that's
I
a fail.
roll
That's a
have
1.
faith for opening my door?
I think you can. What are you hoping for?
I'm really hoping that there's something interesting in here.
Brilliant. Great. Yeah. Roll 2d6.
I rolled a 1, so I'm going to take another glory.
Incredible.
And if it just stopped falling off the table, my slanted table, there we go. We have got a 10, and I will spend. No. All right, I'm gonna save my glory.
You're gonna save your glory.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got
You
I'm gonna
roll a
spend it in a second.
10 on
Roll a 10.
2d6. That's really good.
Yeah.
The second you open the door and step in, you are greeted with that same blast of cold and darkness. And then you're back here, just looking at essentially a library observatory situation. But there's that moment of you crossing the threshold and feeling like, oh, again with that thing and that voice is like, whoosh, coming through. You attempt to throw a rock. You roll a 1, and it bounces off the window and hits you in the head.
Ouch.
Yeah. Okay. So
yes.
there's nothing in there's nobody in the room.
There's no body in the room, but as you step in and you feel that shadow, right? All but one of the lights dims very slightly, and the light that catches your eye is the same motorcycle light, because that was the thing that Lucky was looking for, a way to kind of get to where you need to go. So you see, kind of incongruously, picture a motorcycle in a library.
I hate it here, I hate it here, I hate it here, and I look at the camera directly for maybe the first time ever. And I'm like, I hate it here, I hate it here, I hate it here. I would like sponsor intervention. And I will spend 2 glory. I'll spend my 2 glory. And I'll be like, I need help, I hate it here. I want to be saved. I wanna, and I'm like just sort of blubbering. And I'm gonna just be taking the shillelagh and sort of like hitting a drum that's also in my backpack, just like boom, boom, boom. Please help. Boom, boom, boom.
All right, so you're spending 2 XP,
Yeah,
2 glory, and asking directly for sponsored intervention.
directly, yes, extremely directly.
I'm
like so scared. I don't even think I'm under a direct threat right now. I just I feel the threat.
So you're scared and asking for that intervention, and I think that you hear this like as a metal canister lands, like crashes through what's left of the geodesic dome window and lands in front of you. Steam and dry ice opens up as you find a bottle of an incredibly expensive whiskey that has been dropped for you.
And nobody else has come inside, right?
No one else has come inside.
Okay. I'm gonna walk out. I'm gonna walk out. Did they hear the sound? Is it loud enough?
Oh, yeah.
They would have. Oh, you guys would have heard it?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna walk out. They just sent me some dumb thing about take for the motorcycle. It was just a little note. I guess we should take the motorcycle, guys. I'm gonna get on it.
I sniffed this bitch. I
have had the entire whiskey just now. I have had the entire whiskey. You literally light a fire.
Just utterly soused. You come out with a
roll for
drinking
an entire bottle of whiskey, please.
Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I use my glory for it. I feel like I should be legally allowed to.
Oh, absolutely. Well, let's see how your stomach holds up.
Sick. It's a 1.
projectile.
Yeah, Baron and Lucky, I need you to give me a dexterity roll.
No!
That's what you brought into this world.
I know.
Great.
Dexterity. That's a 2. God damn it.
2. Okay. Varian, your loincloth gets absolutely soused in this.
Wow.
Lucky, I will say that 5 is pretty close to a 6 if you want to gain any dexterity-based abilities, or you can hold on to your glory. Just want to remind you what you have.
I mean, a dex. Okay, so if I spent one of my glory, I could.
You get
I thought it had to be a natural 6 to get a new ability.
You can spend XP to bump up to get a new ability, but not for narrative success. So you successfully got out the way on a 5.
Yeah.
You burn 1, you can turn that into a 6 for a 2 in some sort of dexterity or dodge ability.
Yeah, why not?
Do I still
hop?
Wait.
Bunny hop. Yep, that's my dexterity ability.
Could
Love that.
I have
Bunny hop too.
could I have applied escape death
Oh, actually, I think if being thrown up on is
You're gonna
considered
make me.
danger
You're
for
gonna.
you.
You're gonna make me stink. I'm trying to have a low profile.
So what we'll
True.
do with this is we'll keep the 2 you already rolled, but I'll let you roll one more die.
Okay.
Do I get to
6.
Ooh. So on the 8, I do think that you managed to get out of the way of this projectile vomit from Branson.
do I get to keep any level of drunk still, or just...
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It does not leave your bloodstream nearly as fast as it leaves your stomach.
Wonderful. I didn't like the note they gave me. Can someone drive a motorcycle?
I can drive a motorcycle.
And I'll just like
I
lean
can
fully
drive
like onto you and sort of
motorcycle.
like
You're actually leaning onto my gnarled ass. And I'll begrudgingly bring you to the motorcycle. But you notice I have I have soft hands. You notice I have soft hands. I have grandpa hands.
But I still think I was leaning on Lucky, so I'm like, oh, Lucky.
So as the 3 of you are getting very close and moving, you go to get on this motorcycle, get it upright, and as you go to rev this up, and the light from the motorcycle flares and shines, running in from the tree line, quick feet, incredible form, just this athletic movement,
Gorgeous.
form that you've seen play so many times in so many replays from so many games, but a face marked with the passage of time, deep wrinkles, and a femur of some animal running in from the tree line towards this blasted thing, sees you on the motorcycle running and yells out, "No, wait, don't!" And the 3 of you disappear, splashing into cold darkness. It's so thick, it almost feels like you might drown in it. The cool, crisp darkness surrounds you, and just this light shining. You've seen this light before, floating at the top of a caldera in a replay from last year's sanatorium. The very thing that our a good friend Naya had tried to reach flashes, and behind the light, see flashing in the darkness, eyes, teeth, and then it fades. How are you enjoying the wish? Echoing from a distant place, like, no, that wasn't. That was not. Leave. You feel the shudder. It gets very cold in here. Let them try. Try. Very well. Very well. You're sitting on a motorcycle in a completely different area of the forest, looking out across the plain, seeing fires and a few broken trees, a few more explosions in the distance, kind of muffled from the distance. And before you, a 4'8" scientist covered in mud and ash and blood, holding on to her small little device, looks at you appearing. The fuck did you come from? Jesus! Oh god! Oh god!
Did you know about the eyeballs?
Did I know about Bibles? What?
The eyeballs.
The eyeballs. Yes, the eyeballs. The eyeballs.
And something about a wish.
A wish. Oh no. Oh. Okay.
Don't like the sound of that.
And also.
Oh, shut up. Spit it out, lass.
What? Oh.
Oh, does that bother you? Spit, vomit.
I smack him.
Me?
Yes.
Is the intention here to sober him up?
Yes.
Roll about it.
Roll about it.
I want him to be quiet so the scientist can talk.
Yeah. So yeah. Take a. So yeah, I think you are slap him and are able to get that animal adrenaline up to bring Branson back to like the forefront of your mind. You're still a bit woozy on your feet, but you're here and you're present. Yeah, this young girl's like, I've been taking these readings here. The eyes. Okay. It's just one. It's just one eye. This, and she points directly at one of the cameras that can follow you. It's one eye. It's just one. The readings have been taken, but it's not different. It's not separate. It's all part of one entity, I guess you can call it.
Is it the little scientist from the beginning that my bird?
The same little scientist from the beginning.
Is my bird around?
I think you, as you say, "Is my bird around?" You hear as it alights from the canopy behind you to kind of come and like kind of pop up towards this young scientist who seems to have taken quite a shine to little Pixis. I'm like, oh my god, I don't think I could have gotten through here without Pixis. Thank you so much for your bird. Oh my god, I've killed so many people. So the readings, the eyes, it's all one thing. It's one entity. And the prize, and she points off towards, as you are sort of standing at the edge of the caldera now, you can see this glowing orb kind of drawing light from the motorcycle, drawing light from various points, holding there like that is it's a lure. It's a lure. Anglerfish, you know what I mean? With it that belongs to, it's all one thing. It's not just the eyes. It's all of it.
Okay. I'm just waking up here, but do we like this thing? And I point at the camera.
Dude, do you like electricity? I mean,
I go to stab the eyeball.
Ooh. Okay. You go.
I was about to shillelagh it, so like,
I was about to hit you with my axe.
can we all? Can we just get in on this? Can we just?
I'm
also fully prepared to die for this cause.
I am too. Like I'm okay not winning or surviving.
It is okay if this Eldritch Island does not like us.
If I'm about to get swallowed by a giant eldritch being, I want to stab it in the eye.
Yeah, like if the prize is already getting to that point, let's like at least give it a go.
JoJo, I'm getting some Kubia vibes from this.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
call. Wow, Kubia, Jesus.
So here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna roll a number.
Yeah.
And
What's that face?
Don't like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like the sign of that. Okay. I'll say in an Eldritch horror game, there is no such thing as unsatisfying. We know what we're getting into. We know we can be blasted away in a second. I'm here for it.
You all turn to look at the eye that has been following you, the many eyes. You go to attack it. I will let you each roll an attack and add the results of all of that together.
Can
Okay.
I roll both magic music and listen to try and attack with a resonance?
No, I think that you can either, if you're taking a snap decision right now, you're not prepping. What you
Fair.
Yeah.
Can I? So I got a 9, but can I also spend 2 glory for a random chaos thing to happen that could maybe aid us?
The
2 is sponsor intervention.
Yes.
5 is chaotic intervention.
A
Yes.
sponsor intervention.
Yes.
Can the sponsor see us?
Through the eyeball.
No, I can see you. Yes. What sort of sponsored intervention are you hoping for?
I don't know. Again, I didn't think that far in advance.
That's fine. Yes, you can.
Maybe
spend,
I'll just-
you can spend 2 XP for a sponsored intervention.
Maybe I'll wait.
You want to wait?
Yeah, I'll wait.
So I got a 4.
So that's a 4, and that's
I got a
9.
2.
and that's a 2.
Was
Okay.
not
Whoa,
a good
wait.
stab.
You
I rolled
got-
it just
got-
2d6 or 1d6, right?
2d6
or 1d6. Yeah, I rolled a 2.
Okay.
I pushed with 1 point. I have 1 point of glory. 3.
So glory won't allow you to change narrative success.
So we got 15 total.
4 plus 2 plus 9 equals 15. Our aberration rolled a 20.
Ah.
And so what I want to know.
Rip. Elson chat.
Barry,
Elf. Yeah.
what still tethers you to this world?
I think the only thing that tethers Barian is his bird companion, and they're together.
And what would you give of yourself to keep Pixis here?
I think the thing is that Pixis is just like a hunting falcon, but to Barian, it's so much more. I think this kind of, I think they needed it both. I think they both needed to be, him and Pixis needed to be in their element. trying to live. And I think the only thing that's keeping him from is how much more there could be. I think is the only thing that maybe it is a shame for such a beautiful creature, beautiful. It can still fly. It's still free to fly, and that seems like a shame for it to die here with him.
Yes. You turn to see the eye of an aberration, and you attempt to attack it. You attempt to gouge this eye. All three of you going in to attack see that the eye shimmers and shakes, and sort of almost like mitosis splits into further eyes. The one Barian that you go to attack definitely dodges your move and goes into your one good eye, carving it from the socket, fully
Shit.
blinding you.
Okay. Sick. All right.
Branson, how were you attempting to attack? You were using this music?
Yeah, so I am going to sort of take with my shillelagh. I'll hit the drum on my backpack, and with the resonance, like spinning around it, like the music notes of sheet music spinning around it, I will spin it forward with a boom, boom, whoosh, and go to swing it just full force.
Brilliant. So you generate this sound, this reverberation. As you do that, and as that, like, you hear your own sound, and you hear that resonant sound of the eye as it splits off and moves towards you. As the shillelagh comes in that impact, the it releases such a pulse of sound, like being at the front row of a concert with 10,000 subwoofers, and you feel one of your ribs crack in your chest. Lucky. Swinging an axe?
Swinging an axe, baby. Rusty axe.
On a 9, you are swinging an axe at the thing that is broadcasting you to the world, the thing that is meant to be your ticket to stardom and fame, and destroying it with this axe. That is your intent in this moment. What is Lucky feeling as he takes a swing at the thing that he came here for?
In the back of his mind, he's feeling like he's in over his head, but also he's right here. He has 2 compatriots who are helping. He thinks just if he puts his whole ussy into it, maybe he can claim victory for himself. He's survived thus far, you know. He's feeling lucky.
Lucky is feeling lucky. And in that sense of like a really roundabout way of finding like self-acceptance, Lucky is feeling lucky in this moment. You reach out with the axe, cleave into this eye, it splits and dissipates, and the other 2 eyes turn to look at you, one of them staring out from within the blasted skull of Barian Dusk, who, I will remind you, is still alive.
God damn it.
Barian, you feel your body wrenched towards to look at Lucky.
I'm facing towards Lucky?
Yes.
Okay.
The eye is in your skull and is trying to move.
Oh, sick! It's in me. It's in my face.
It is in your face.
Oh god, awesome! Sick. Okay. I want to try, if at all possible, I want to try to tap into my roots, and I'm gonna try to shift. I'm gonna try to wear shift into a form of were jaguar, and have claws, and my skull shape kind of come forward, and my orbitals will change shape, the bone structure will change, and I'm trying to use the power of that inner beast, this old hunter, to pull this bitch out of here. Get out of my head.
So, bloodied, blinded, you try to tap into this old ancient tradition. You are in a place where the veil is so thin. So we're going to roll about it, just straight 1d6 and see if you have access to that. You need
Let's
to
see.
beat a 4. You need to beat a 4.
4? Okay.
That's a 1.
Uh,
You go to shift into this jaguar shape, a thing that, like, you've talked in the past about how 9 lives, right? So this thing in the past that has gotten you out of scrape after scrape after scrape, and you try to shift into this, and the eye is in you. It is in you, and it is a part of you. And as the cells of your body start to split in order to mitose and change and transform into this other shape, that's all the opportunity that the eye needs, as it slithers shadow into your DNA, into all of the gaps in between, and you feel this connection. You see Pixis just starts like flapping heavily to the point where like some of like the flight feathers start to come out, and it's freaking out. And you feel under your ribs this unbelievable pressure and pain as another arm juts out and grabs onto the ground. Another one on the right side pushes out and grabs, and you feel yourself shifting into a jaguar shape that has long talons and sharp teeth and eyes, as you feel yourself taking the form of the very creatures that you had run from. The caldera shakes. Lava starts to crack through the top, this peak, and the orb shaking, swaying in the breeze. The scientist looking up like, oh no, this is very bad. This is all very bad. It's all the same. Don't you see? It's the same thing. It's all the same thing. It's not just the eyes. It's the eyes. It's the caldera. It's the island. It's United Youth. It's all the same thing. They stole death from us and are charging us to stay alive. Don't you? It's all the same thing. Just yelling about all of this, and you see Barian, you start to feel a different relationship to the world, almost like you're looking at it through a veiled curtain, feeling the strong desire to belong to a pack, to belong to something, to run with something, to feel your body moving. Lucky, you have cut one of these eyes and look into the distance and see 1,000 eyes open, staring at you. What do you all do in this moment?
It sounds like it's about to be snack time for me, is what it sounds like.
I have finally felt a drum beat loud enough to make me smile. So cracked rib, bloodied face already from the cracked rib. Just massive smile of like, oh, I'm not bored anymore. And I am just going to turn towards the thousands of eyes and the lava flow and run off. into the distance. Like I just go.
You're running into the distance, away from the eyes, away from the lava, or towards them?
Oh, right towards him.
Right towards them. You run towards the eyes. Massive smile. You're not bored anymore. And the shadows envelop you. And you are gone from sight. Barian, you feel bones cracking and settling into this form. It feels good. It feels young. It feels strong. It feels hungry. And there is a rabbit, a bird, and a young girl here. What do you do with your new form?
I think there's a part of him that tries to whistle, and instead it comes out as a roar that fills the night.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And in the distance, you have whistled into the night, and for the first time in who knows how long, something has responded. You have a tribe again.
Ooh.
Do you follow it?
Yeah, I do.
You elope into the night. Lucky, you are standing here with the world's toughest 4'8" scientist.
Yeah, seriously.
And Pixis. What do you do?
Turns to the scientist. What are our chances of survival? Of getting that last beacon, of winning? We don't need to face... Well, I don't need to face all that, right?
It's... I don't know. I just know it's the same. I can't put my finger on it, but I know it's the same. I know that they're all of this, the things in the island, the things that happened to us, the company that profits from. I don't understand. And pushing.
This is a time loop.
Pushing through the brush, out of breath, you see Maya Douglas, last year's attempt at a champion. But on the video, she was so young and strong, probably in her late 20s. She is fully in her 60s, deep lines of age. God, I'm not as fast as I used to be. You see gray streaks going through her locks.
Yes.
This. All of this.
Yes.
You wanted a motorcycle. You wanted to get somewhere, and a motorcycle appeared.
Yes.
I wanted my mother back, and a light appeared. There's a power here, a wish here. And that, pointing at the light in the center of the caldera, that's the center of it. That's the creature. That's all of this. And I got it. I got it last year. The first time, it couldn't bring her back. So I said, no more. No more death. No more suffering. No more. wasn't meant to be like this. And that same fucking company that wouldn't pay for her treatment now has youth insurance. So I came here to end it, and couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'm scared of dying. You.
Yes,
your friends.
me. Mm-hmm. I mean, friends is a loose term.
Man, I don't know what the right thing to do is, but it can't be living forever. It can't be that, right?
I can kill you if you want. That'd make for some great television.
They would love that. What do you want, Lucky? What do you really want?
I mean, in no particular order. To be famous to feel like my life means, he looks around, maybe meant something that I didn't just waste away, scream into the void. If you ever heard a rabbit scream, it's not great. And that's how my life has felt, and I don't want it to be like that.
Well,
and I wish to survive, and I think maybe if I focus on the survival bit, the other wishes will come true. So right now, I wish to survive and get out of here and live my life as a newfound celebrity or something. That's what I want. That's what I wish. How do I get that? Do I go right into that light? Is that how I get my wish?
Deep sigh. Oh. Do you want fame or a life that matters? She points at the eyes. Fame's over there. They'll give it to you. You got here. You're the last one standing. Well, unless the scientist wants to say something about it, and she's like, no, fucking. You can go. You can have a life of fame. He points at the light in the center of the caldera. Or a life that meant something. I can't anymore. So looking at old knotted hands and muscles that aren't as strong as they once were, I can't anymore. You're here. What do you want to do?
He sighs, takes off his sunglasses, drops them to the ground, squishes them with his boot, takes off the cool gloves, tosses them to the ground while looking at all of those eyes. And he whispers something unintelligible in his native tongue. And he sighs and sighs and sighs and looks between the two and hops towards the light. Because this bunny man was not cut out to fight. Who's he fooling? He's not fooling himself. He doesn't have what it takes for that life. He wants to feel something for longer than just a moment before doesn't want to be famous and then die and not enjoy it, not see if he can be fulfilled. He just wants to be fulfilled and live with that fulfillment. And he's not going to live with that fulfillment if he goes for the fame.
I'm going to make you do 2 rolls for me. The first, I want you to roll bunny hop. 2d6.
That's 2 4s.
It's 8.
So 8.
8's pretty damn good. It is a far jump. You back up, generate some strength. Naya looking at you. It's like, kid, you're not gonna make it. It's not gonna make it. And just strain from Naya, summoning whatever strength she still had from when she was truly a champion in these woods, in these forests, to give you. And you feel an additional push behind you as you leap towards the light. You have 2 abilities left, and I'm going to make you choose one of them, and that will be the last roll of our game. Do you swing axe, or do you accept gift?
I accept gift.
You leap, leaving behind the trappings of fame, the eyes, all of these questions of whether or not you did something that mattered to somebody else. You're doing something that matters to you, and you accept whatever comes your way. Naya reaching out with energy, pushing you, getting you towards the center of the caldera. There's nowhere to go but down. You feel the heat rising from cracks of lava that strip the obsidian that has hardened over this place as you reach towards a glowing orb that you know is just a protrusion into this dimension of something older and stranger and more great in all of the meanings of that word than anything you've experienced. And as you reach out for that light, cool shadow surrounds you. In all directions, darkness and a light coming a little bit closer, a little bit closer, a little bit closer, until you see a man, just a man, much like you, but where you have the head of a rabbit, this has the head of an anglerfish. Lure hanging in front. Looks down at his suddenly human hands, looks to you and says, "All right, kid. What's your wish?" And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
All right.
Yes.
Nice.
Unlucky lemon.
Excellent.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice follow through. Nice follow
Yeah.
through. Nice.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for GMing for us, Dain. JoJo, thank you for being here. Andrew, you're part of the team. I don't need to thank you.
No,
Should, though.
That'd be excessive. That'd be excessive.
No. We're going to go ahead and go around real quick, say who you are, and go ahead and plug anything you would like to plug. We'll go ahead and start with Dain.
Great. Yeah. My name is Dain Saint. I do all sorts of interactive storytelling, including this kind of thing. The thing that's really close and dear to my heart right now is this space opera project that we've been working on. Is this massive theatrical TTRPG for over 60 people, run across 3 Saturdays in June, where you get together and try to find ways to work together to solve generational threats. I'm one of the co-GMs for this experience. We have so much cool stuff coming for that, and that's kicking off in Philadelphia in June. So My website is dainsaint.com. That's DAINSAINT.com. There's links to Space Opera from there and a bunch of the other stuff that I'm working on as well. And yeah, thanks for letting me spin a yarn with y'all. I love this so much. It makes me so happy to get together and just like not just tell stories, but tell stories together with people. It's a dream.
JoJo.
Yes. Hi. Hello. I'm JoJo. Tonight I played Burying Dusk, gnarled elven beast shifter man who can't seem to die, but found a reason not to, I suppose. And where can you find me? You can find me on the internet at JoJo Culturalist. I am an anthropologist, cultural anthropologist, storytelling anthropologist. You can find me over at Melanin Mythos, which is a world building podcast, which we are going to have very exciting stuff happening soon. I can't talk about it, but check it out on podcasting places. Also, I help out at Apochromatic Unlimited, which is a BIPOC like AP publishing community platform for TTRPG folks trying to get their wings in the community and just having some community for BIPOC voices. And I'm in the Somebody's Heroes podcast as Volkan Espiritu, the half dwarven boxer. I do those things. Melanin Mythos is a BIPOC world building podcast. I do stuff. It's late. I'm sleepy. I'm done. I don't want to talk anymore. I pass.
Andrew.
Hey, I'm Andrew. I've got nothing to plug except for gratitude for everyone here tonight. The message is true. It is all connected. Free Palestine. That's it for me.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Mika. I do things. I'm a Brazilian American AP streamer, performer, what have you, producer director here at Roll D5. If you want to catch me at places, you can catch me here or at Help Action Needed, because Sean, for whatever reason, continues to let me play really weird ass games, such as Guy Fieri's Bisexuals or Transforming Lesbian Cars from Space. That one uses the Saga system. You can also, if you need a dose of Mika right now, you can catch me over on The Heart is a Dungeon. I'm a guest in season 1, and then main cast in season 2, Once Happily Upon Ever, where I play Lala Lemon, a Corvid who likes to steal things, shiny things. You can catch me on Somebody's Heroes, where I play Lemon Little Tart, just a little fairy who investigates things, solves things. Or you can catch me over on RP Jesters with their miniseries Hench, which I do believe just aired its last episode last week. It's a 10-part miniseries where I play Lucas Lemon of the Eliminates. He's just, he's a little Nepo baby. Cool. Huge thanks to On for doing our tech. Huge thanks again to Dain. Thank you so much for jumping in and doing this for us. Our next game is on the 14th. It'll be Dead Man's Ante, and the guest guide for that is Quincy, aka Quincy's Tavern. And we will now raid into Tulok the Barbarian, our dear friend Phil. It's his birthday, so stick around and tell him birthday. No, happy, just birthday. Okay, bye.